On today's IRS tax refund update, we will take a look at the latest developments this tax season, including the newest round of refund release dates set by the IRS, as well as the latest tax processing numbers. From there, we will check in with those ongoing refund delays, including 5 different letters from the IRS that are being received by our viewers still experiencing delays, including what they mean. And finally, we will take a look at why you should not rely on the estimated refund date posted by your online tax preparer. Starting off with the latest developments, as the next round of direct deposit tax refunds is scheduled to be released and transmitted to banks on March 27th, as confirmed by the refund status results seen here. Now, if you are part of this latest refund batch, do allow up until April 1st for that deposit to post your bank account before initiating a payment trace. Meanwhile, for those viewers who are expecting to receive a paper check, the next round of those are scheduled to be mailed out on March 29th, as confirmed by the other refund status results seen here. Now, while most will receive within 7 to 10 days, you must wait until April 26th for it to arrive in the mail, before initiating a payment trace with the IRS. Meanwhile, the IRS has released its latest tax processing numbers and currently reports having processed 70.5 million tax returns out of 71.5 million returns that have been filed while maintaining a 98% processing rate. However, since our last update, the total amount of unprocessed tax returns has actually increased to now over 1 million. So to those still experiencing delays, while you are only among a small percentage who have not seen their returns processed yet, you still make up a significant number of tax filers experiencing issues. However, the vast majority of tax filers are still having their returns processed and refunds issued within the first 21 days since filing. Also, to address comments made in the comment sections of several of our last videos about interest on late tax refunds, it is important to note interest will be applied to refunds starting 45 days after the tax filing season officially ends. There has been some confusion that interest starts to apply to refunds after 45 days since filing, and that is not correct. Interest will start to apply to any unprocessed refunds beginning in the last week of May, and until the refund is sent to the tax filer. Now, with 1 month to go until the end of the tax filing period, refund delays continue to amount for many, and it is becoming clear what the main causes of those refund delays are aside from simple processing delays. At this point, the top issue causing delays has been the tax return has been randomly selected for wage and/or tax withholding review. And it is important to note this issue seems to have significantly impacted early filers in particular. Our guidance prior to the start of the tax season, and what it continues to be, is not to file your tax return before the official start of the tax season in late January. Furthermore, we do suggest waiting at least until the second full week of the tax season, as those early filers and even those in the first week were among the highest numbers to report holds due to wage verification as well as ID verification. Now, if your return is subject to a random wage verification, you are likely to be encountering the 570 code on your tax transcript, which means processing of your tax return is on hold pending further action. And a number of our viewers experiencing the 570 code have been reporting receiving this notice from the IRS, which is the 12C letter like seen here, requesting the tax filer to submit documentation to confirm the wage or withholding amount they entered on their tax return when filing, including any W-2 and 1099 forms you are reporting. Even though the issuer of these forms, mainly employers, also send a copy to the IRS, there could be 2 particular reasons why the IRS is asking for a copy from yours. The first one being the information you entered on your tax return does not match what your employer has reported for wages and/or withholdings, or the second reason is that the IRS has still not processed your employer's wage information, and they need documentation so that they can proceed with processing of the tax return. If you receive this letter, please respond within 20 days of receiving it, and barring any additional issues, the IRS will issue you that refund within 6 to 8 weeks after receiving the requested documentation. The second top issue causing refund delays continues to be the need for ID verification so that processing can continue on your tax return. Oftentimes, this is completely random, and regardless of whether or not you have had any previous tax issues or other changes with your tax situation. Due to the increase of fraudulent tax returns being filed in recent years, the IRS computer system is taking additional steps to prevent improper tax refunds from being released, which has resulted in the increased amount of ID verification requests. For those impacted by ID verification, expect to receive one of several notices from the IRS, usually the 5071C as seen here. Now, the version of this notice on the left is the older version, and the one on the right is the newer version that was released starting last year, so you may receive either one of these in the mail as a result. However, just like last year, many who were supposed to receive this notice never did. And as a result, were not even aware ID verification was the cause of their delay until contacting the IRS. Meanwhile, we continue to have many viewers deciding not to wait for the notice to arrive in the mail, and instead scheduling an in-person appointment at a local IRS office, which can help reduce the wait of that tax refund by possibly several weeks. Other notices for those experiencing delays that are likely to receive include a letter in the CP05 series of notices, often to do with verification of income, with the CP05 notice simply informing the tax filer they are reviewing the return for wage and/or withholding review, and that they need additional time. Meanwhile, the CP75 notice will be sent to those who have the processing of their tax returns on hold, due to the IRS reviewing one of several credits being claimed by the tax filer, especially the Earned Income Tax Credit, and IRS Letter 2644C is a notice sent out to tax filers, indicating the IRS needs an additional 60 days to process the tax return in question. And one of the causes of this notice being sent out is the IRS has still not processed the wage information submitted by the employer or former employer. And finally, another reminder to our viewers not to rely on the estimated tax refund date provided by their tax preparer as seen here. Now, these estimated refund dates are not reliable, as these companies are not linked to the IRS computer system, and they also do not take into consideration any delays you may experience, such as the need to complete ID verification or the need for wage review. For the most accurate information on your refund status, please check your tax transcripts, which will show an 846 refund issued code, as seen here when the IRS finally sets the tax refund for release. Let us know in the comment section below about your ongoing tax issue. In the meantime, we will keep monitoring the situation for further developments, so make sure to click on the thumbs up and subscribe button below for future updates on this channel, and thanks for watching.